Have you ever said something in English and suddenly felt, wait, did they really understand me? That's not a language problem. It's simply that your ideas didn't really get your point across. Emma is already B2. She can speak fluently, but lately she kept asking herself, do people really make sense of what I'm saying? Or are they just being polite? In this dialogue, she finally says it out loud. And instead of correcting her grammar, Mark shows her how to communicate for real. When she says, maybe native speakers never struggle, Mark simply replies, you got me there, but actually we struggle too. That's when it clicks. Real English isn't about sounding clever. It's about picking up on small things and expressing them in a way that others can actually follow.
Morning, Mark. Thanks for meeting me here.
Good morning. No problem. It's nice to have a quiet classroom and a blackboard ready to use.
I wanted to talk while my mind is fresh. Lately, I've been feeling frustrated with my English.
I understand. Let's see how we can make things clearer and easier to express.
Sometimes I know the words, but I can't explain my ideas clearly. Like yesterday, I tried to tell my friend about a book I read, but I just stumbled, and she looked confused.
That's completely normal. Even advanced learners face that. The key is learning how to get your point across.
Get my point across. I think it means making sure the other person understands me.
Exactly. It means to communicate your ideas clearly so that others understand. For example, if you're explaining a problem, you use simple words, logical order, and maybe give one example so the listener can follow.
I see. So it's not just about knowing words. It's about how I use them. And maybe adding small examples helps too.
Right? And we can practice that today. We can start with something simple. You talk about a short story, a movie, or an experience, and we'll organize your ideas on the blackboard.
Okay, I can try. Maybe I'll start with a short story I read last week.
Perfect. Just remember, don't worry about mistakes for now. Focus on how to get your point across clearly.
Got it. I'll give it a try. Okay, I'll start with a short story I read last week. It's about a girl who finds a mysterious notebook in the library.
Great. Go ahead. I'll follow along, and we can use the blackboard to map out your ideas.
So, the girl is curious, and she writes her thoughts in the notebook. And then strange things start happening.
Good start. Notice how you've introduced the main character and the plot. To make sense of what you're telling me, I need a bit more context. Can you add why she was curious?
She was looking for inspiration for her writing class.
Perfect. That little detail makes your story easier to follow. You see, when you add these small points, the listener can make sense of your ideas more quickly.
I see. So small details help a lot.
Exactly. Now, try explaining what happens next in a few sentences. Don't worry about perfect grammar. Focus on getting your story clear.
Okay, then she notices that the notebook seems to predict things that will happen. She's both excited and scared.
That's interesting. See how you described her feelings? That helps me connect with the story. You're already doing a good job of getting your point across.
I didn't realize that. I thought I just needed to tell the plot.
The plot is important, but emotions and small details make your story clearer and more engaging. That's part of learning to get your point across naturally.
Got it. I think I'm starting to understand how to connect ideas and feelings better.
Perfect. Let's continue with the rest of the story and keep using the blackboard if it helps. Step by step.
So, the notebook predicts events, and she tries to test it by writing small things first.
Right. And I notice you're really improving and showing cause and effect. That's great.
I think I'm getting a bit better at this. It still feels tricky, though. Sometimes I feel like native speakers just know how to do this naturally.
Well, you got me there.
Huh. Does that mean you admit it's true?
Kind of. You got me there is used when someone says something you can't really argue with, like they caught you at a point. For example, if you say, I bet you never struggle with your own English. I can't really deny it completely. So I say, you got me there.
I think I get it. It's like saying, you're right, I can't argue with that.
Exactly. And don't worry, even native speakers have moments of doubt. That's normal.
That actually makes me feel better. So even if I make small mistakes, it's not the end of the world.
Yes. Focus on communicating clearly, adding small details, and noticing what the listener needs. That's how you improve step by step.
I feel more confident already. Thanks, Mark.
Great. You did a really good job with that first story. Do you want to keep going and try one more?
Sure, I can try another one. This time I'll focus more on being clear, not just finishing the story.
Good plan. And as you speak, try to pick up on the small details the listener might need.
Pick up on. Oh, so you mean notice those details, right?
Exactly. To pick up on something means to notice or understand something that isn't always obvious in the beginning.
Like when someone speaks very fast, but I still catch one small phrase and understand the meaning from that.
Yes, that's a great example. And you can do the same when you speak. Think about what small phrase or example might help the listener understand.
I like that. It feels doable.
It is. Communication is not about sounding perfect. It's about helping the other person connect all the dots.
And the more I practice, the more natural it will be.
Exactly. So keep practicing, keep picking up on those little things, and you'll keep improving.
Got it. I'll try to notice those things while I speak from now on.
Good. One step at a time. You're already doing a great job.
Thanks, Mark.
So before we finish, let me give you a little reminder. Being understood in English isn't about using bigger words or speaking faster. It's about clarity, connection, and attention to the listener. Next time you speak, try this. Slow down slightly, add small details, and make sure each point is clear. Notice the listener's reactions. Pick up on what they might need explained, and adjust your explanation as you go. Remember, even native speakers pause, rethink, and correct themselves. So don't worry about mistakes or sounding imperfect. Focus instead on getting your point across, because one clear and understandable idea will always have more impact than 10 complicated sentences. Keep practicing, stay aware, and gradually, you'll notice a big change in how people respond to you. Before you know it, people won't just nod politely. They'll really understand and engage with what you say. And that's the real power of English.